Hi, gamers. This is a patch day. Well, kind of patch night, but hi, welcome to Only Males. Unfortunately, this episode is more of a catch-up episode and a reaction to, me freaking out over Kaveh and Baizhu, especially Baizhu, coming in the drop market. So, I will just warn you here that this is a chill episode. I will be working on Sumeru's story at some point closer to when 3.6 drops because that's when it'll matter. But otherwise, yeah, enjoy the reaction here and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, hi gamers. Hi, it's late at night and I was about to wind down and go to bed. Funny thing is, I was playing Fire Emblem in the background, and I'm just sitting here like, I'm gonna have a nice, a nice time playing Fire Emblem tonight, and suddenly, no, both men's have arrived. Oh, he's beautiful. I only just saw Kaveh and was like, oh god. He's finally freaking here. He's alive. He's alive! Guys, I can't! I love how some creators are just like, no way, whoa! Like, I cannot. Okay. Hello, gamers. Hi. Baizhu and Kaveh are coming up next in 3.6. I'm so excited. I'm ready. I'm excited. These two men's are beautiful. I'm going to go absolutely ballistic getting this man C6 and Baizhu really high constellation. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen. And this is just my raw, unfiltered reaction. I'm just gonna lose it. I was also trying to test like my audio to make sure it wasn't crunchy, and I was like losing it trying to find where the folder was for my videos, and I can't. Oh god. Okay. Now this is gonna be tacked on in a future me where I'm a lot more calm, because I can't do a video like this, but I'm gonna put it in the Only Males episode where I just kind of talk about Baizhu, Kaveh, and my wishing plans for 3.6 and whatever, and Only Males stuff. So that'll be in the video that you're watching here. I'm gonna do a little theory on like what the heck, Baizhu and Kaveh will do, like in my brain, like predicting. I know there's like leakaroonies going on and like I don't get influenced by that stuff. I'll mention it again later, but I just wrote down some of my favorite like ideas on how I wish they would play, and you will hear that in the little bit in this video. So I don't know what else to talk about. Like, I mean, is there lore? Let's see if there's lore and then we'll move on. Ooh, okay. Wait, doesn't Facebook have more lore? I don't know. Maybe I'll grab the Facebook lore real quick. Hold on. Okay, well, I downloaded the little screenshots of the Facebook page, and I guess I'll put them up at some point in the video so you can pause and take a look at them, or you can go to the Facebook page yourself. I don't know. I might read them. I don't know. I have no idea what the hell I'm gonna do for this video, guys. Like, first of all, look at him. Look at him in his leggy. He take a sit. Like, first of all, this pose, and then Kaveh, not that. And then Kaveh just... Look at their poses. They're just fruits. They're literally just fruits. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. So I guess I'm gonna move on, and we'll get into the video then. Okay, you're back. Hi. So in this episode, I just wanted to kind of chill, kind of talk about just my theories for, Kaveh and Baizhu. I've been thinking about what they could possibly do for the longest time, and we're just gonna do some little weeklies here. And I have a feeling in my bones that Baizhu is going to use either violet grass for an ascension material or a new one based on a new map. So after we do these little bounties, I'm gonna do some violet grass farming. But yeah, so in this video, after I do my bounties here, I'll just kind of speculate on Baizhu and Kaveh. Oh, actually, before I guess I do anything further, I should probably update you guys on the state of our boys. So I had to re-record this section a million times because I talk forever. Basically, all that I did was farm up a bunch of talents. Specifically, I farmed a bunch of Ballad talents. I farmed a bunch of resistance talents and freedom talents. Tartman doesn't see it yet, but he's actually going to see it because he will be ascended. And so this week, on when I'm recording this on Only Mails, is when I'm going to ascend our boys to 90. Most of them. The ones that actually have artifacts on them. So basically Tart, Kaya, Razor, Toma, and Bennett because of his boosting. If literally it wasn't for his boosting, I would have left him at 80, but it's important at some point because his talent also matters too. So yeah, so pretty much all that's changed is that Razor has some artifacts now. He got this really cool cup. I am now giving this piece that he used to have over to Kaya, so that's really good. We don't have to use this kind of weird piece. But this kind of looks like that, but it's on the right set. So I'm very excited for this. So these are kind of like makeshift pieces. They're like not spectacular. This is spectacular though, but this will probably go to an Ayato once I get him. So sorry, Razor Boy, this will be a temporary piece. Yeah, so I've been farming this for a little while. The Pale Flame set at least, and he has some good stuff on him, some pretty decent stuff. It's not like spectacular. Also, he's able to use like this cracked out gladiator flower, so like we're gonna have use for this stuff. Also, I think Albedo got a better feather. Whoop-de-doo. Albedo getting a better feather on this terrible Copium Petra set it really doesn't matter. I'm still mad at him and the Ocean-Hued Clam and Husk Domain. But, yeah, so hopefully if Baizhu is a healer, I'll go back and level up Albedo. That's like the only exception. So yeah, not really much has changed. Hazo, I'm probably going to put on the back burner, unfortunately, for a little while. If Baizhu does indeed scale with HP %, I will probably give the prototype Amber to him and take Hazo off of it and level both the Lost Prayer and the Widsith so that he can actually deal some damage. I know in some cases the Sac Frag is better, but I don't care yet. So we'll have to see how Baizhu comes out. It really rests on Baizhu whether Hazo gets attention made or not. But yes, Kaya will be next on the Ascension after Tart and Bennett. I don't know whether I want to use my Fragile Resin yet for ascending bosses, or sorry, the weekly bosses. I might use a few, because I will buy the BP this time again. I know I said that I wouldn't buy BPs, but you know what? I have to do something for Baizhu, okay? I have to. Why did they elongate this bar? I feel like the percentage was right next to the thingy. Okay, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, so Razor kind of has a makeshift build on him, so he's actually kind of good. And then closer to when Mika comes out, probably on one of the Sundays, maybe, I will level the Snow Tombed. And the Event Claymore looks like a really good Claymore for like Elemental Mastery Razor. So thank goodness, because I was worried that I was going to level the Rain Slasher, but I don't have to, so that's great. That's cool. Also, I wanted to wait for a video to do this, and I know it's going to make a lot of you cringe inward. Yep, that's happening. That's definitely happening. Do I have enough white tassels? Yes, I'm going to sacrifice the rust. There is no use for this for me. I wanted to do this for so long, and now it's going into the Aquila Favonia. There it goes. Kaboom. Yeah, so now Aquila is leveled up for both Bennett and for Kaya, depending on who I want to use first. I'm a little like hurting for swords. I need another Favoni sword. I'm really mad that I merged my Favoni sword. At least Refinement 3 is like a good stopping point. But yeah, so that kind of sucks. So yeah, that's pretty much all our boys and all of our things. Let's get to talking about like what I think Baizhu and Kaveh will do while I do some more thingies. Some more, well, exploration thingies, because I mentioned before that I would love to at least get enough, you know, ascension materials of violet grass. Just in case, because I have a feeling he's gonna need it. Also, I just want to apologize at how little videos and stuff has been coming out for me. Burnout is a bitch, and it's really messing me up, and to be fair, 3.5 is literally the most mid-patch Genshin has ever had, ever, in the, like, entirety of Genshin. So, I hope you guys understand and sympathize with me on this, because literally the only bit of content I can make is with Mika. And that is if we can get him, because he's on a banner that's not desirable to me. If it was Albedo, I could have risked it. So there's that. I'm also going to do something a tiny bit different. I'm going to instead shut up and talk to you guys about my little theories concerning Baizhu and Kaveh, because it's just the amount of effort that I have. So anyway, more fun videos will come in the future. More Sumeru story will come in the future. And until then, I'm just gonna leave it to post-future me talking to you guys and doing a little long-form recording. Hello, so this is me from a day later. Definitely in a lot better headspace than I was when I was recording this. Yeah, burnout is really discouraging me from making content, and the main idea for me to post-record was because my ADHD tendencies is, like, horrible to the point where I can't focus and, like, read, like, a document while I play Genshin. I have no way to read a document and play Genshin, and I wrote down all my ideas for what I think Baizhu and Kaveh will do on said document. So, but wait, I want to preface first that these are not leaks, and I did not look at anything or will not look at anything when making this. I literally wrote this down, like literally in January. So I wrote most of this down. I wrote Baizhu stuff down in January. Kaveh's was a little bit more recent. I kind of updated him a little bit, since all he had was he had really simple stuff that I wrote down. But with me seeing his briefcase, that kind of changed. But yeah, so these are not Leakaroonies. They're not illegal. If I predict the future, I don't know, you owe me a coffee. Without further ado, I'm going to start by talking about Kaveh, because he is the shortest character that I wrote down for, because he's kind of obvious what he'll do, but here's some of the, like, wishes that I wish he could do. So for Kaveh, I thought of him being a Dendro shielder. I also thought of him being a claymore too, where he slams his claymore on the ground and makes like this kind of diamond-like shield. You know what's funny actually about Alhaitham's splash art is I thought he actually was going to be the shielder, because his burst animation, like in his splash art, looked like a shield. So I thought that was really funny. So it only makes sense for an architect, Kaveh, to create a shield. And on top of that, since Kaveh's an architect, I had the copium idea of having him scale with defense, because durability, right? So that just makes a whole lot of sense to me. So yeah, I thought Kaveh would scale with defense, first of all. I thought Kaveh would be a shielder, is my guess. Maybe also for the shield, it doesn't have like an adaptive element where, like, you know, it combines with Hydro, Pyro, and Electro. It doesn't do that. Maybe instead it only heals you if Dendro damage comes in contact with it, or maybe only comes in contact with him. Maybe they want him to be like an on-field, like, Bloom character, like kind of like Yaoyao. I wrote that down because Yaoyao was very suspicious, so, like, you know, they would make 4 stars of the Dendro category kind of niche in their role, but also be really strong in their role, but also have kind of a niche presence. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean, but it's okay. So the other option for Kaveh was a C6 Dendro version of Goro and Sara. Like, that's the most obvious thing that he will be, because we need to have that at some point. He could also be a main DPS, but I don't think so. I think they wouldn't make a niche a niche Dendro character. Sorry, the Dendro element is just all male, I'm sorry. So yeah, I don't think they would do that quite yet, but I know they will do a C6 version of Goro and Sara. That is probably guaranteed what I'll think will happen. And judging how Mika is seeming to be like that, but can heal, it would make sense if Kaveh was like that and could shield. It just would make sense. So he would have a niche with Bloom teams and such, and I feel like he would be a Bloom support. In some sort of way. I don't know if it's whether he shields or a couple of other ideas I have down here. One of them is that his briefcase, once I saw his briefcase, the ideas shifted a little. With his briefcase, I thought it would turn into a cannon. I saw some fan art of him turning that into a cannon. It's so funny. I'm thinking of it like being an aim shot where you can aim it at blooms and they explode faster, or it shoots out a field and the blooms within the field will heal the active character. So if he doesn't have a shield, he might have damage reduction with that, so like the blooms don't kill you, but then they also heal you when he shoots blooms, because like maybe the blooms will like transform. Maybe it'll just be a field, because I've always thought he would have like a field of some kind. I don't know, but I'm really attached to this idea of shooting blooms. And then kind of like the boring idea, well, not as boring, but like if he shielded and put like a damaged buff field or resistant shred field, it just kind of makes sense where he would make like a little square field, because we only have circles. Why not squares? Kaveh would be unique enough to give a square field. I just know it, especially with that briefcase, like, come on. And then the meme idea is him having a 3-part combo where he smacks a bitch with his briefcase. Kaveh's literally the fruitiest character, and they're like literally Baizhu and him are both coming together. So anyway, they're literally that was horrible. Don't laugh. It was horrible. Yeah, they're very fruity. So anyway, with the fruity man out of the way, let's go to the other fruity man of Baizhu. So for Baizhu's predictions, some of the more obvious ones with like poison and snake stuff, I'm actually not gonna do as much. I think the poison is just gonna be the aesthetic of how his Dendro application is gonna like look. That's at minimum. But I think Baizhu is going to be a healer, but not in the way that we expect. He's not going to be a full healer, because Yao Yao is essentially that full healer. But he could still be a very high applicator of Dendro while also being a healer, but also could be a Dendro healer buffer or a shielder if Kaveh doesn't end up being a shielder, which I think he's going to be a shielder first before Baizhu. I don't think Baiju's gonna have a shield, just me personally, but I did have an idea the moment that I thought of the term Wreath of Snakes. If he does not have a term written in his character description or talents or whatever, his things as Wreath of Snakes, then that's a missed opportunity, honestly. Oh, come on now. Anyway, my ideas for Baizhu are he would be a healing bonus scaling into crit battle healer. This would basically be Dendro Kokomi, but can crit. It just makes sense. Like, imagine you heal by dealing damage. I always loved that idea. That's why I love Kokomi so much. That's why I enjoyed Jean so much. So yeah, I just thought of a passive of converts 50% of healing bonus into crit rate. Crit hits from Baizhu restore 50% of damage dealt into HP restored to Baizhu himself, and triggers an extra heal from his elemental skill to heal all allies. Just imagine it kind of like Barbara, but can also heal himself a bit more. Because I had another idea connected to that, which was HP sacrificing. Baizhu is frail. Even recently, they've literally continued to make him sound like he's frail and desperately trying to find eternal life, right? So I thought, oh, how about this passive where HP sustained from sacrificing HP is restored over time as long as Baizhu has not sustained damage from any sources after 3 seconds. This is kind of what I hoped Dia would be like, but it's, as of recording this now, we now know everything Dia can do. And yeah, yikes, yikaroonie. Honestly, if Dia was a Dendro element, she would have been so much better just because of her element. I'm sorry. That's all I gotta say about Dia. Anyway, so yeah, HP sacrificing element to him would make sense. He would be really powerful and would need something to kind of like, you know, reel in his power, kind of like Kuki Shinobu, because definitely the reason why she's not as strong is because she sacrifices HP, and I guess her damage numbers are low, but that doesn't matter. So yeah, HP sacrificing and healing bonus into crit rate, that's just the things that I think. Then we get into what I think is elemental skill and burst will do. This kind of set of skill and burst kind of interact with each other. I did like an idea that I saw like a very long time ago about him being like a poison support, but then he swaps the healing into poison with his elemental burst, and he would have one of the only like burst resources. So like example, like think of the burst like mana. You would turn it on, then turn it off, then turn it on, then turn it off. I thought that was kind of cool, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that's gonna be more of like an Archon thing, like maybe the Hydro Archon will be like that. But anyway, my idea is simply a snake totem that heals allies, attaches to them and grants resistance to interruption, and has a % chance to deal a coordinated attack every hit. And reactions increase this chance by another 50%, and critical hits increase this chance by another 25. So 75% chance if you crit and deal a reaction. This would go hand in hand with his other passives I mentioned before. They're kind of grouped that way so that they would be a part of his kit. So he would be a battle healer that has a lot of crit. He would be the person that would crit the most, but could also share his crit rate into his allies, which, spoiler alert, that's in his burst. So I just thought that, oh, if he was a spread-focused carry, or spread-focused like supporter, maybe even aggravate could work. He would be able to support that by making coordinated attacks be reliably from every source of the active character. So that would be kind of cool. When you're triggering, which one was it? I think when you triggered a reaction, I had the idea of restoring HP. Reactions restoring HP is the only thing I can think of for him being a weird healer. The more I thought about him and Yao Yao kind of like separately, the more I realized, oh, he's gonna be sort of like a niche healer, because they wouldn't make him an over crazy healer like Yao Yao unless they pulled a Kokomi and made him not crit. So who knows? But now his elemental burst swaps the resistance to interruption, the healing, and triggering or whatever, to now decrease Dendro resistance to enemies and grants the crit rate based on 50% of his current healing bonus, granting a maximum of 20% crit rate, and deals multiple hits of Dendro damage every 2 seconds, so there's no triggering, it's just constant damage, and dealing damage on your character restores HP. And yeah, that's cool. It just makes sense to me. Oh, and dealing damage restores HP based on Baiju's max HP. Cool. And if Baizhu deals damage, he heals all nearby party members. So, yeah, I wanted him to be like Kokomi. Okay, leave me alone. I just want him to be like Kokomi. He would be a Catalyst character, by the way. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm kind of hyped on caffeine, so I apologize if I if I have spoken a lot and really fast, so I apologize. I just also want to get this all done within like a 30-minute video. Anyway, that's the one kit that I think you would have. He would have like this crit-based, healing bonus-based character who can sacrifice HP. So Well, let me just say the sacrificing HP is only when he summons his elemental skill. It's literally exactly like Shinobu. It's exactly like Shinobu, but he would recover it after 3 seconds. That's the 5-star for you. And he would decrease Dender resistance, so he would be more of a spread carry, but he could also synergize a little bit well in a, you know, Bloom team of any kind. So yeah, decreasing Dender resistance, maybe some Elemental Mastery buffs. I have more of the Elemental Mastery kit down here later. But yeah, this is more of like a crit-based build, so he could actually be slotted into a crit team. But yeah. So then, I had an idea, since I heard of, like, Wreath of Snakes, I just was like, wait a minute. What if Wreath of Snakes was like a resistance to interruption field, and when he, I guess, when he either deals damage or casts the skill again, he summons a shield. And this shield not only has 250% Dender damage absorption, it'll come in contact with Electro, Pyro, and Hydro and do something different. So I had some options here. So if Electro comes in contact with this shield, it will restore 1 to 3 energy of the active character every 1.5 seconds and increase attack speed by 8 to 15%. This is like a talent level up upgrade, so it would go to a maximum of 3 and a maximum of 15, just so you know. That's Electro Shield, so like if for example, if you actually used a character like Dori alongside Baizhu, you would gain this Electro Shield buff. This would be Electro coming in contact with you, so it would technically like cleanse you, but also change the shield's effect. So I thought it would be really cool if something did that. Like, we don't have a shield that cleanses except for Diona and Xinyan. I think they're the only shields that cleanse. Toma cleanses himself. But yeah, so I think that would be kind of cool. But anyway, the Pyro coming in contact with the shield will apply burning to the shield and increase attack by 15 and 30%, or between 50 and 30, and EM, Elemental Mastery, by 50 and 150. So this would basically mean if you want to just kind of go balls to the wall and not care about the strength of the shield, you could just do Pyro Resonance or whatever and just go all buffing and buff your attack further and EM further, so burning can actually deal damage. Simple. I mean, like, the Pyro coming in contact with a Dendro shield was the big reason I can see a reactive shield being for the Dendro element, because like, what else would it do? Would it catch on fire and just burn away? That just sounds stupid. That just sounds like an unnecessary physics mechanic that you'd have to look for. But anyway, if Hydro comes in contact with the shield, the Wreath of Snakes will increase its AoE, so like the resistance to interruption can be spread to co-op characters. And I think I also made the Wreath of Snakes apply Dendro, kind of like Nilou's, Nilou and Xingqiu's kind of like water fields and stuff. So this will be a Dender version of that. So Hydro will make the Dender version go larger, and it will also restore HP with every hit sustained, regardless if the shield is broken. So the Wreath of Snakes and the shield are separate entities, right? For this set, at least. So like, the Wreath of Snakes is resistance to interruption and applies Dendro. That's all it does. But then if Hydro comes in contact with the shield and transforms it, the ring will get bigger and it will restore HP when you take damage with the shield on or without the shield. So it just would make sense for a Bloom team, okay? Like, if Kave's not going to be a Bloom support, I would think Baizhu would be somewhat of a Bloom support. Anyway, I also had, like, buffing based on the element that came in contact with the shield. I don't really want to read that because it was a part of an old theory video that I was going to make, but then I decided not to. So, oh well, I'm a little too late to make a video like that, so sorry. But anyway, I'm almost done here. So, yeah. Recently when we were just constantly, me and my server were, Discord server, were talking about, Baizhu being too frail and like what weapon type he would use, it just would make so much sense if he had an alternate sprint. Because like, if he had an alternate sprint, it would be the flower field that we wanted Nahida to have, but now Baizhu will have it. And it just makes sense. Like, he would create a flower field that leaves Dendro on the ground. And imagine if when that comes in contact with burning, it buffs the burning damage that is within the field and also on enemies. So this would be Baizhu as like a copium burning support to help a certain character that's kind of weak right now. So anyway, I thought of this alternate sprint idea. Sprint and leave a trail of grass and foliage that could be set aflame. Applies Dendro in a small area when reappearing. So kind of like Ayaka and stuff. But it leaves Dendro, grass, and foliage on the ground. I didn't think of a limit for this because I just wrote it down. But pyro and pyro application on the ground can turn the grass field into a burning grass field. Allies who take damage within this field have their attack increased by an additional 25%, and burning damage now shreds resistance of Dendro and pyro by 20%. To enemies, of course. Yeah, oh my gosh, imagine if that like increased burning damage and also Dendro, because Dendro needs to be applied to keep the burning up. So imagine if that worked. That would be so cool. And so that's where all the fun ideas from Baizhu are around. I just kind of thought of him as a either a boring Dendro version of Xingqiu, where he would have resistance to interruption and had coordinated attacks. Maybe they would have a % chance of coordinated attacks or something. And maybe if he had a shield, he would be kind of like Dendro Toma with some application and a shield. That's what I wrote down. And I swear everything in this list is all stuff that I predicted in my brain. So I don't know if Leakaroonies will confirm or deny, but please do not talk about them. They're illegal. Do not. We talk about how much I am right once, you know, Baizhu's released, okay? Like, well, not released, but like maybe released, but also in the live streams too, okay? So anyway, yeah, so those are the only ideas I had for Baizhu right now because I prepared them for a video and decided to not do a video. So I hope you enjoyed this video and my hyper talk. I'm sorry if it was a little too much, but yeah, so again, we're gonna pretty much just be kind of quiet on the YouTubes for a while. And yeah, I'm unfortunately just going to chill for pretty much the end of 3.5 until Mika comes around, and I will make, you know, story videos closer to when Mika comes around, and definitely go absolutely ballistic when Baizhu is on the live stream. So all of those things will be happening later. So in the meantime, I will be streaming more. I stream Wednesdays and Fridays, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific and Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific. So come hang out with me and force me to do content. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I guess really quick, I'll talk about my plans for Kaveh and Baizhu is I will be skipping Cyno. I will be trying to get Mika, at least one of him, and then I will save everything else for Kaveh and Baizhu. That's it. That's really it. I don't know how far I'll go with Baizhu and Kaveh on only males. I do know that I would try to get C6 Baizhu on my main. So anyway, that might happen as a fun little video as well. So I will see you then, okay, gamers? Thanks for watching this little chill talk video where you hopefully got some work done, some chill time, some farming in Genshin, and I will see you on streams or later down the road, okay? Take care, everyone. Bye-o.